now that we've done our keyword research, it's time to start creating our keyword map. The keyword map, as I mentioned previously, is basically just a process for creating, distributing, posting our content so that we see success with it every single time. It's creating consistency around the process of publishing content so that you have consistent results. For that, I'm going to be using Airtable. Let's jump in here and just add a base starting from scratch. If you've never used Airtable, I highly recommend it. It's basically like a Google Sheet on crack, and it gives you access to all kinds of different views, calendars, Kanban, or swim lane views, and it allows you to semi-automate a lot of the process behind creating good content. So keyword map, we don't need to do anything tricky here. We just need to jump into the keyword map. So this is a blank table without any information. We're going to take our keyword research from earlier, and we can even apply a filter here and only choose keywords that have an X. So those are the keywords that I chose. And we'll just drop those into our Airtable here. Expand the table. All right. So we want to have the columns match what we had in our spreadsheet. So this is search volume. This is keyword difficulty. And then these other two columns honestly don't matter as much. So we're just going to get rid of those. I'm actually going to change this to status. And we want that to be a multiple select. We'll save that. And then we're just going to update what those different statuses are. So this is, and we'll be using this column for the actual project management. So you can make these whatever you want. I have something like planned, outlining, writing, editing, publishing. And then you're going to want to add social sharing and on-page optimization, and probably backlinks too if you have any kind of backlink planning going on after you publish content. So that's going to be my process for now. I'm just going to get rid of this other field. So the nice thing about Airtable, I have these focus keywords, I have their search volume and keyword difficulty. Now I'm going to add who's actually going to be writing this content. Let's make that multiple select as well. Our writers are myself. We'll add a couple writers here. You get the idea. So that way I have the actual article here. I have any writers. I can assign this very easily. So everyone who jumps into this document, I can share this with people. They can all see who's working on what. Okay. The other column that I think is essential is some dates around when things are going to happen. So we'll just call this publish date, and that helps keep everyone on track. And we'll say the publish date is today. Let's get rid of the time field because that's not really going to help us too much. And I accidentally selected the created time, last modified. We just want the date field. We have a few different date fields in Airtable. Okay. So then we'll change these to just be published sort of every day for the next couple of days. Okay. The real magic of Airtable comes in when you can use different views. So this is my grid view. This is useful for adding new keywords, but this isn't actually that helpful in planning my content. So let's switch to, we have a couple of different views here. The Kanban view is what I'm going to use for the processes. And I want to use, oh, it has to be a single select field. Okay, so let's go back to the grid view. We made our status multiple select. That has to be single select. There we go. Okay. Now my Kanban, I can just use the status field, done. So I have all these uncategorized pieces of content. They're all planned, so we're going to add them all to planned. This helps you keep track of everything that's happened with each article. So if I click on this first one, it will expand, and now I have all this other information. I can add comments. I can, mention other people on my team. I can also upload versions of this content. So if you want to add a field here, we can have this be attachments. And maybe this is just like rough drafts. And so instead of field 7, we're going to name that rough draft. The nice thing about that is whenever I add those fields, it doesn't just add it to that one article. It adds that rough draft field to every article and also to my grid view. So I have rough drafts here. I can add attachments. Super easy. So now that this Airtable is configured, I can start using it for my actual content creation and writing process. And that's what we'll cover in the next lesson.